Thank you, Felicia. Happy New Year, heart and soul. Happy New Year, folks at home. Happy New Year. Happy New You. Yes? This is a do-over moment, isn't it? Well, for anybody who's willing to claim it. It isn't automatically because what I know for sure is that some of us have already dragged some stuff in from last year that we didn't like it when it was in last year. And I'm not clear if we're hoping it's going to feel and look and have a different sense having dragged it into this year. Is that what we're thinking? That the lighting of 25 is going to have it look different and the atmosphere will have it feel different? I'm not clear exactly. But I am very clear that our pattern is to drag the last year that we announced along the way that we were done with and it needed some work and all the things, that we just drag it right on in at the beginning and let it take root. And then we're surprised about July, why it's looking like it used to look. Oh, I'm just talking to myself, right? Y'all just, okay. All right, all right. So there's some folks who are acknowledging that we're on the same page in our acknowledgement. So look, this is clearly an opportunity for us to simply say, no, I'm not doing that. And it may be a pattern that's in place, so I'm not pretending that it'll be easy because maybe that's what you do. You give it up on New Year's Eve and then you go get it on New Year's Day. And you kind of set it up for the year so it'll fit in just right. So this is an opportunity to say, not anymore. Yes. Oh, that wasn't really believable. Yeah, that was one of the weakest yes that I've heard in a long time. Y'all not at all game, right? I'm just up here. It's me and you, y'all. Yeah, it's us, because the people here in the room, they not feeling me this morning. They're like, she done started off rough. Is that the problem? But my prayer before I knew y'all would show up not really feeling me is that we would set a new intention, that we would establish today as a turning point. You know, there was something we always knew in my household. My mother had a way of putting her foot down that we could discern from other rooms. That there was a change in the universe. When that foot went down, the universe shifted. Am I the only one? Okay, so we have a sense of the power of a moment in time that changes everything. And we grown now, so we can do it for ourselves. We can put our foot down, declaring that no more of that. Now the universe abhors a vacuum. So no more of that, but you gotta claim something. Yes. Yes. So that's what today is about. I want to remind you that this year we have a special. This is not the point where I know it sounded like I had already started the message. I haven't. I'm just up here to do a little something. Look at here. So I want to remind you that we have a special Black History event happening on February 9th. And that is with our brother Charles Holt, who will be our musical inspiration that morning. And then that afternoon, my prayer is that, and the reason I wanted to take a moment, my prayer is that you will let folks know, that you will share this with folks, give them the link or send out the QR code, because it's really going to be a special time. It will be a time of both reciting, sharing with us some of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s words, and then there'll be the music that fuel the civil rights as well. That's already written on our heart. So it will be an amazing experience for us in our special celebration of Black History Month. Yeah? So I'm just asking for your help in getting the word out. Yeah? Thank you for that. Our theme is still adventures in faith. Why? Because that's how life is, isn't it? It's just like it is indeed an adventure in faith. And our focus is from the inside out. And I want to just say this about that before I share with you from our read for 2025. Just a quick little excerpt. Is this the world as we have set it up? Because it's not like the world just happened and we didn't have anything to do with it. Yes? Oh, so, okay. Okay. This is our world. We have set it up the way it is. Now, that's not a point of shame and blame. It's a point of empowerment, isn't it? Because if you thought it was somebody else's world, you just living in somebody else's world at the effect of whatever they're choosing. But the moment you realize, what? It's my world. I am helping to create it. You are empowered to create it in a different way. And the way that social media and the news media, et cetera, and our friends and neighbors will often invite us to interact with the world is from an external. You know, this is what's happening. React to it, respond to it, and all of the sub modalities from that. Yes? We have come to say today, we're living it from the inside out. Because that's where the power is. This isn't news to us, but remember, we just put our foot down. And we're not doing that anymore. And so because we know that the universe abhors a vacuum, we know we got to put something in it or we're going to end up doing what we've done because there's nothing there. And what we used to do will just simply seep into this new space. So in it, we're going to place our awareness that life can be lived, can be designed from the inside out, from my knowing, from my loving, from my caring, from my compassion, from my empathy, from my willingness to forgive. And for every one of those, the opposite is also true. The converse is also true, depending upon what we choose for ourselves, yes? So this year is a huge opportunity. Our read for this year is the President's Devotional. This is what our leadership team chose, and I just want to give you just a little, well, a pearl, because yesterday was entitled Pearls. And this excerpt that I'm sharing with you, the author, Joshua Du Bois, wrote, "We develop tough skin for our winters. Like a diver plunging beneath chilly waters to snatch his reward, we'll need resilience to prosper, especially in lean times." I think he's talking to us. And that's what God is working in us now. The momentary challenges, the delays, the minor frustrations of this day will yield great benefit in the future if only we learn to remain strong and peaceful through them. I think that's our cue for the inside out. He says we are pearl divers, and we will never let a churning sea slow us on the way to the treasure the divine has in store. And then for today, I just want to share this affirmation or this prayerful affirmation where he writes, "Dear Lord, when my vision is limited, help me to learn to trust in you. I know that you see." And so that's how we are launching this year as our adventure in faith, living it from the inside out. Y'all game? Yes. Yes. Okay, so we're kicking this off then with Karen Smith and Thomas Hughes. And what I know for sure is that something is calling us to our greatest yet to be. That's why this matters. And so the song that she's going to bring us this morning has this as part of the lyric. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith keeps calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. What keeps calling you a little bit deeper than you've ever been before? Karen Smith and Thomas Hughes.
Good morning, heart and soul, and happy new, prosperous, and powerful new year. And something is indeed calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feel like I'm walking on marbles. Can't feel the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. A long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I surrender my life to you. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I give my life, give my love to you. Love keeps calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith keeps calling me calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.
Thank you very, very much, Karen and Thomas. Thank you. That, for me, is the perfect start for our first Sunday in the new year, is this acknowledgement that something is calling us deeper than we've ever been before. Can you feel the call? It's not an external call. Remember, all of this is from the inside out. It's an inner calling on our souls, on our lives, to go deeper than we've ever gone before. Now, for some of us, that's not a surprise. The activist in us already knows that this is going to require something deeper in order. The finance professional in us and around us knows it's going to require something deeper. And so now we are responding to the spiritual calling, acknowledging that this is going to require something deeper of us. I'm going to invite you to take a breath, a conscious, intentional breath, breathing in the awareness that we're being called deeper. Yeah? So at the first of the year, a practice that we are often in is a New Year's resolutions. Yes? So a New Year's resolution is an intention or commitment to achieve a goal or make a change in the calendar year, in this calendar year. So some of us, how many of y'all have already set a New Year's resolution? Good. All right. All right. And how many are open? All right. So I'm going to invite us to go deeper around it, because the thing is that some people's resolutions find success, but more resolutions fail, and faster than most of us might even realize. So what I'm using is this, if you'd put up the slide that just says New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New You, because I just want to, this one, thank you. I want you to notice what's happening here. And just, if you will, just play along that this is you. Now, I know you don't typically envision yourself on the precipice of the ledge and doing this. But just for right now, some do. Some do. Just for drill, let's just see if we can't see ourselves moving from the end of last year. So you see that the 24 is behind. And there's this, what would you call it? It seems like maybe there's a sense of readiness, a sense of preparation. They've assumed the position, haven't they? Yes. So we see they're not, the intention isn't to move back into 24, but they're not yet into 25. Yes? They're not where they intend to be, but they're setting it up to get there. Yes? Okay. So we see that there really is a progression. We're not being led to believe that you just exit 24 and voila, I am in here with the energetic presence of all I intended to be. Yes? Okay, so this is how I want us to begin launching this idea. Okay, so take me to where you would have gone otherwise. The us right out of 24. So this is us kind of in the position. So here's just, we're going to leave this there, that what I want you to know is that there are those who do it. I know Pew Surveys has done some work with this. This is a YouGov survey of 1,000 people. And the top 5 resolutions for 2024 were, and I'll just say it because we can just stay here, was 1, saving more money, 2, come on, being happy, 3, exercising more, whatever, 4, improving physical health, 5, eating healthier. So those are your top 5 that folks are working with so far. Now, we have some folks in the community that will help you get there. But remember, the way we're doing it is we know that something is calling us to whatever resolution or goal or objective that we set. Yes? So what it's calling us to go deeper around it, to not just note it, to not just beat ourselves up when we haven't already done what we had thought we were going to do or had set. Yes? So this is the underlying theme, if you will, is going deeper and the acknowledgement that this is from the inside out, that's the whole intention here. Yes? All right. So this concept of setting goals at the beginning of the year goes back, it's said, to Babylonian time. And the tradition continues today, as we know, with us committing to a variety of personal goals each January. And here's the thing, that out of 1,000 people surveyed between January and June of 2023, only, well, what would you guess? 2 people. I am happy to report that we're doing a little better than that, because according to Forbes, the results here are only 6% followed through on their resolution. 94% of the survey takers did not. So you see why it's important that we start off knowing we're going to have to go deeper. Because clearly it's not that easy. If it's easy, the numbers would look different. So we're not doing it because we thought it was easy. And let's just tell the truth. If it was easy, it wouldn't be even on the list. We'd already be doing it. We wouldn't need an event of the new year in order to take the new look. We didn't just learn about dietary health. We didn't just learn about what exercise. It's not like we just saw the plank as an option, or the lake just opened for walking it, or, none of this is new. We are now doing our best to motivate ourselves to do something different. Yes? Yes, it's an inside job. So I love that we have a little external encouragement. It's the first of the year. Let's go. But we're going to have to do more than that. Yes? And so this notion of going deeper is real. And so we see this is us just in the blocks where we're getting clear of what's required. And so now we see that the next move is what? We're up and we're moving forward a bit. Yes? This is us. I'm doing my best. I had it in my mind. This is the closest we could come. Maybe next year we'll have some animation. Who knows? Because we're digging deeper right now. Yes, and so this is what I dug deep, and this is what, thank you, Deb, for helping a sister out to do the best kind of little visual we could concoct here, okay? So look, Baylor College of Medicine reports that 88% of the people who set New Year's resolutions fail before the end of January. So much so that they have called the second Friday in January, which is the 10th, it's Quitter's Day. Oh, y'all don't know just how you act. We have done this so efficiently, so perfectly, so consistently that they done named a day after us. So by the second Friday in January, we have already quit. And I'm sure we are not responding well to people who aren't aware that we've quit and think that we still are on point. So we even give an attitude. So not only have we quit, but we got an attitude about people who don't know we quit and are calling us into our greatest yet to be. We are now pissed at them. Yes? Now don't act like you don't know. Come on now. This is us. Quitter's Day, because it doesn't take us that long. So we know the numbers are great for those who just quit. We had no idea how quickly we turn tail on our resolutions. Yes, I'm painting a picture because I'm hoping to remind you that this is really going to require some torque to get us out of the field of the past behavior. Y'all understand torque. You can't just, I'm in the new now. Yes? You have to break free of that field. The field that we created, by the way. Nothing is, I failed to share that part. Nothing has been done to you. You haven't been chained to it by someone else. If there's a chain to the past, you hooked it up. Every link that's in the chain, we put there. So in order to move out of that field of how it's been into the newness of it, is this making sense? We're going to have to really, it's more than just, I have an idea for my future. It's more than that. That's a great start. But it's going to require that we change from the inside out. Because if you were the one to have that life, you'd already have it. The good news is that you have at least the first few steps of it. If you've written it down, if you've recorded it, if you've claimed it on any level, you have already stretched that rubber band. And with the proper engagement, you can pop it. I know we went from chains to rubber bands. And it's all the same. Okay, all right. Anybody who's caught up in that, you just got here. Because we're going to mix metaphors as we go along. So we're simply acknowledging, this is someone from Southern New Hampshire University also did some work around this, some research about it. And what they say is that many people don't think beyond the early stages of their resolutions. See, they're just ready to go. Buying a gym membership might feel like a good step, and it is, if you really gonna go. But it's just the first step. Sometimes, too often, it's our only step. You know, this is not a mountaintop teaching. I didn't have to read this to know that. And don't call a Y and ask them nothing about me. Commitment, they say, is often an issue if you encounter a problem in your plan or get off track. It's almost as if we want to understand now that this may have more difficulty to it. We want to tell ourselves the truth, that the new year doesn't make it easier. Might make it clearer, might support you in committing more, but it's all an inside job. The new year is not going to do it. So the question is, will you commit to not using a few skip days? You know, when you fall off the diet, are you done? So I know veganism has its pull. I'm trying to remember, what was I doing? I've told y'all this. Was I fasting? I was fasting. No, I was literally fast. Well, I thought I was until I found myself chewing and swallowing food. But what it was that the pattern was there. I hadn't interrupted the pattern. And I had fasted for a couple of days, or who knows how long it had really been. But the idea was that I literally caught me with food in my mouth. I had no recollection of having moved to the food and cut it or sliced it or whatever I did. All I recall is that I came to myself chewing. And I thought, oh God, I'm fasting. And there was nothing chewable on the fast. So I understand this is not a mountaintop teaching. I understand that setting a goal and doing it the first day, that is good. It's excellent. But every day we're going to have to do that. Upping our game as we go along. Yes? Yeah, I'm saying this to us because I am declaring something more for this year. And I'm not expecting to open my door and just, oh, you're here, something more. I'm expecting that I will need to transform my thinking, my being, my speaking, my self-talk is what I mean. What I say to me about it. And I'm going to invite you to say less to others early on. Just a suggestion. And you might, if that doesn't appeal to you right away, think about how often you have set a goal, an objective, and you told folks before you were really grounded in it. And your life is probably very different than mine, but that hadn't worked out well for me. And so the shift in that would be to maybe just hold it until it has incubated sufficiently. And I'll tell you what's probably going to happen is they're going to ask you, girl, what you doing? What are you doing? I see the shift in whatever it is you're doing, the way you're thinking, the way you're being, all of that will show up. Yes? Okay. Just a thought around that. All right. Thank you. So look, we're moving. We're in our continuum of moving forward. What I'm hoping that we are discerning in this is that as we move along, there's more to add to it. So initially, it's get clear about what it is you want. When you're in the blocks, get clear. What is it? Where are you headed? That's going to help. Where are you headed? What is it that you're about? And it may be several things, or it may be one thing for you. But get clear, and then we're moving forward. Yes? Yes. Okay. All right. So show them how the next one looks. And we're going to acknowledge here that change is difficult. From Southern New Hampshire University again, that's the number one reason people fail to follow through on their resolutions, according to the study. Most people make resolutions with the best of intentions, but soon find it takes commitment, effort, a true desire to change, and the big one, being personally accountable to stay the course. And that, frankly, can be a tall order for a lot of people. But if you know that that's the case, then you can self-correct. You can begin to not just be shocked when it takes everything to be out to dinner with people who are gnawing on a bone and you are in your new vegetarianism. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's like a real thing for some of us. And for some, that's a moment where they let go. Well, one bone won't hurt. And it remains to be seen whether that's true for you. So look, the key here is that we are moving from, our vision is moving from the blocks where we're getting started with this to that point where we are literally flying through the air. If you would just give them the visual isn't that it? We are in the blocks. The vision for ourselves, though, is that we are leaping across the limitations, that we're leaping across the resistance, we're leaping across the limited thinking. Yes? So we want to, but we want to honor both of these because they are key to the process. Oh, I hope this is making sense. Okay, all right. So look, Ernest Holmes says the starting point, which is what we're looking at, the starting point, is the starting point to creating a better future is to deliberately what? Free our minds of the mistakes of yesterday and feel, and I'm going to add no. So it's this marrying of the heart and mind. We're going to feel it, and we're also going to know that that it's no longer held against us. This is how we started. This idea of taking into 25 our losses of 24 and nurturing them in a sense, and somehow expecting 25 to be different. What is the axiom? Wherever you go, there you are. I think it fits in this. They know whatever it is that's in the past, you can decide that it's no longer a liability. You know, it's like looking back there, say, I ain't scared of you. You know, just get on back there. Whatever it is that supports you in interacting and putting your foot down around it. Yes? It's a get thee behind me moment for sure. Isn't it? It's you can't go with me. Look, let me just 25, hold on. Look, I hung out with you all last year. And frankly, for the past 2 years, we've been messing around and just carrying on. It's over. Sometimes you just have to quit them. It's over. We're not doing this anymore. Whatever this is for you. Oh, I hope this is making sense. Because this is being videotaped, and Lord knows how that looked. But the idea is for you to take dominion for your life. You decide. You're being called into deeper knowing, a deeper awareness, a deeper engagement in you. For 25, can we decide that stuff isn't happening to us? I know we've lived a life of stuff just happening. But this is the year when we look more closely at that and we perceive our own fingerprints. We go, oh my goodness, that stuff that just was happening, it has my fingerprints on it. I had something to do with that. Not in a blame or shame way, in an empowerment way. Think about it, because if you didn't have anything to do with it, you're going to have to look for whoever did. Minimally, and then convince them that they ought to change it for you. But we have wiped out all the middle people that we were going to try to drag in. And instead, we're standing empowered. We're looking out on the full possibility, the full potential for 25. And we're like, no, not you. I know you. I recognize you from, We are taking charge. Is that? Yes? Okay. All right, 2, 3 people. I'm going to go with that. So look, we are now moving. Let's do our next. Because, do I have the thing? I do actually. Oh, come on now. Maybe I don't. Well, I was trying to do the little, never mind. I thought I had the little laser thing. Because in this process, The one that, so you see the one in the blocks, and the next one, can you feel the torque there? Can you feel that they really, this is us? What I'm wanting you to do is have in your mind what that is for you. What are you thinking there? In order to get that going, can we just play this for real? Because that doesn't just happen. What do you have to be thinking? You, not me. For you to be in that place with all, pardon me, pardon me. What must you bring to mind? What must you be in order to get yourself up out the block of thinking about it? Because, some of us can plan it for months. It could be June, and we still working out the details of the goal and the resolution. It's not quite right yet. So, what is it for you? Pardon me. That gets you up out of the blocks with that kind of, can you feel the determination? Can you see that, y'all? Okay, so at every step in this, we're more invested. We're deeper into our intended outcome. We're more committed in every millisecond of this. Can you feel it? Okay, there were a person over here, two here. Thank you. Y'all, all, thank you. Thank you. And y'all at home, I am so grateful for you because I know you are pacing the room because you get this. And I know you can't sit still while all of this is happening in the transformation of your life. I feel you and I'm grateful for you. I wish you'd come in here. I'm just saying. So look, we are building our way because what? We have to somehow cross a chasm. We have to somehow get across that void. And that void for me is where we usually give up. So where we want to just leap across it is that place where we often give up. Where we just turn in and we go, I would never, and what they, forks over knives, I don't even understand what they were talking about. That's the point at which we typically quit. And we end up resorting to saying stuff like it wasn't for me anyway. Don't elect me, because I will make that illegal. That part where we are defeated and our affirmation becomes, it must not have been for me. And I say in the most spiritual way, shut up. How would you know? How would you know whether it was for you? When you quit. When you stopped nurturing the vision. When you stopped believing in the possibility, how could you possibly know whether it was for you when you didn't go get it? She said with love in her heart and compassion for all. So Neville, Neville offers us, I'm sorry, no it doesn't, Bill Clay, my longtime friend who sends me a thought for the day. This is a little combo of a couple of thoughts he sent me. Imagination is a force that can actually manifest a reality. He says, don't impose limitations on yourself. What? Others can do that for you. He says, push yourself again and again. Can't we see that in the outpicturing of how we have to break the field of what we don't want, where we've been held, in the moving into what we do want? Bill says, push yourself again and again. Don't stop until you reach your professional, your personal, your spiritual goals. Just keep filling them in there. The best motivation always comes from within. It just reinforces our awareness that this is an inside out mission. Yes? Yes. So look, we're at this point, and I know I'm collapsing it, and we're going to revisit it when we, because if anything, I'm a serial preacher. So we're going to be blowing this out some. And so we just have it compact because I want you to begin to, if you're willing, if you're interested, begin to visualize yourself like taking flight. Because you've done the work. The thing that I wanted when Deb and I were first talking about this is a visual, because I wanted us to have something other than, this is 24 and we just, and now we're in 25. 2025 representing the opportunity, the potentiality, the invitation to our greatest yet to be. I wanted us to have a visual that helped us to see what's required of us. It's not that it's a new year that's going to do it for you. It's you wrestling that new year into what you need it to be. Yeah? You're treating it like, you're a potter and it's the clay. You are turning 25 into your heart's desire. It's the laboratory for you to be your best self. That's what it is. It's not magical. Except that it kind of is. If you do it right. If you get in it, like in the deep end of it, yes. I don't know if y'all are really getting this. Okay, all right. I'm just, I'm here like trying not to just hop around. Because I think I've already done enough. that I'm a little concerned about how we are really starting the year here. Oh, because this is just like, this is such an opportunity. It's such an invitation to take charge, to truly stand empowered. Like in this moment, what can keep you from your heart's desire? What can keep you from your greatest yet to be? For real, what can keep you from it? And if you do, somebody said me, y'all. Somebody said me. Isn't this a way to deal with you? Because look, here's my sense of how me shows up. If I was really committed to keeping me from my highest and best, I wouldn't be here. Because I'd know not to come in here, because that's, what else would we be going to be encouraging? And I wouldn't want to get any of that on me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it would interfere. I might accidentally be moving in the direction of I can't risk. So when we know that me is entertaining something more, we know me is not fully invested in keeping me from my good. Does that make sense? So we can see that there's already a chink in the armor. Yes? And if we are truly committed and paying attention, we take advantage of that. Say all that big mouthing you doing, all that ain't, I'm not paying that any attention. Because it's smoke screen kind of thing. They're doing it with smoke and mirrors. They're just trying to keep you backed up because it's probably just the fear of change. This is where the mirror work. Y'all just think we do mirror work in the summer? No. This is where mirror work comes in. Because now you're like, oh, me, I see you now. Come on, baby, I need to talk to you. Yes? Because what else is there to do? What, you going to be scared of me? I'm going to be scared of me? Come on. Come on, baby. I need to talk to you. I see you. And I know why you're scared. Because we've been talking about doing this for how long now? Holla out, somebody. How long? Yeah. For some, it'll be a decade. You know, so I can see why you're afraid. Because we set up all of these reasons, all of these concerns, all of these doubts, all of these fears. We got all of that in the way. But we're working on something different now. Your mirror work is for you to work it out with you. Just, oh, come on now. You just use a mirror to just, no. Get in there. Get in there and talk to that little fearful part. Get in there and talk to the little doubtful part. Get in there and talk to the resistance. This is not an invitation to denial. This is an invitation to reality. Your greatest yet to be absolutely awaits you. And if you letting BS, belief system, get in the way, that's on you. But you can clean that up. You can clean that up with you. And it's a time to be compassionate and speak with empathy because you really do understand. You were there. You know how y'all got here. Me is not crazy. Me is simply acting out what we put in place. Your work is to get me on board so that me and I are working. Is this, I know, yeah, y'all have to really pay, don't just let me go. Yes. So your mirror work can be a key, powerful aspect to this. Do you all know what I mean? Y'all even at home, do you know what I mean in terms of mirror work? Anybody remind us? Good. Okay. So a possibility would be you're standing in whatever mirror. Often an easy one is in the bathroom. I did a presentation with some folks and someone yesterday, and someone asked me whether I do mirror work every day. And I said no. And then during the meditation, I thought, yes, I do. I'm just unconsciously competent about it. So, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm saying some things to me. Well, whatever it is, I'm saying some things to me. And because I've been doing this intentionally for so long, the quality of my comments to and about me are exponentially better than they were when I first began this work. Does that make sense? So you're in the mirror. You're in the mirror. You're in the mirror. And you're really looking at me. You get it? You're looking at me with soft eyes, with a loving spirit. You're not mad at me. You know what I mean? Some stuff may have happened, but in your heart of hearts, you know that you are part of all of that. So this is a loving, coaxing encouragement. I see you. I love you. I know what's happening here. Or I don't know what's happening here. And I want to know what's happening here. You're just acknowledging the truth about me. And the truth is that each and every one of us, some of us call it a child of God. Now, there's no way to be, when we think about genetics, most of us look something like the people we're directly related to in some way, shape, or form. You know, I'm the spitting image of my father until you see my mother. And then you go, oh, well, she looked just like her too. So when we say a child of God, this is an opportunity for you to begin to see yourself in the light of God, in the love of God. Does that make sense? This is you in the mirror beginning to see yourself. Oh, I don't want to say this part. Okay. So let me, how do you even say this? I don't know. Okay, here it is. Look. So now when I look in the mirror, I like who I see. That was not always true for me. In fact, decades ago, I didn't really look. You know, I looked for what I needed to see. So if I was doing a little makeup, I had to look for that. Brushing teeth, I'm looking for that. Wasn't really looking. Wasn't really seeing me. Didn't want to. And now when I look, I like her. We still working some stuff out, but I like her. I wanna. So sometimes we're building to even get there because we haven't always been nice to me. So sometimes we have to begin at a point of just a loving invitation, of acknowledgement. Does this make sense? This is one of those moments where I feel naked. Do I still have my clothes on? No. Yes. So this mirror work, does that help? It's just you spending time with you. And I get that it could be very uncomfortable for some initially. It'll get easier and more comfortable as you go on. Now, the master's level, I just want to tell you that some of us, and we touched on this in a summer school, if you can do it nude, you're really doing something. But don't rush. Don't start there, because that could interrupt just the whole cha-cha. Okay, just pace yourself. Pace yourself, because it's an activity of self-acceptance and self-love and self-realization as well. It aids us in coming to oneness in self. Yeah? So we'll keep talking about it. I can see that, yes, this is beneficial. So look, Neville says this. He says, your present world reflects the sum total of all you believe to be true about yourself and others. This is why mirror work is being assigned right now. Because if we want to change aspects of our present world, then we've got to shift what we believe to be true about us. And some of the stuff we believe to be true about us is so under the radar. But the mirror work will help us to break through, to reveal it to ourselves. I'm going to consider this the intro. Today is the intro to all we're going to be up to, yes? That which you imagine yourself to be today goes forward, yes? It goes forward and will confront you in the future. If you have forgotten your imaginal activities of the past, that which you see appearing in your world indicates the kind of seeds you have previously sown. There is no reason to be mad about it, nothing to do but change it. You know, it's like in the garden. You go out there, don't get mad. Just go, oh, I didn't realize. I thought that was, or yeah, I do remember when I planted that anger and that whatever else you did. Yes? Okay, so what seeds are you planting today? Set a plan today. What seeds are you planting this afternoon and tonight? Before you go to bed, plant a seed. As your head hits the pillow, plant a seed in consciousness. Yeah? Oh, this is good stuff. Okay, look at here. Assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled is using your imagination creatively to bring into your world that which you desire to experience. This is your nighttime, bedtime assignment. You are setting that. Have a moment of visualizing it and then fall asleep with that. The subconscious is not going to go to sleep. You will have planted it and it is going to be working with that. Yes? Oh, this is so good. Y'all don't even know how good this is. Look. Oh, you probably do. I'm just beside myself here with excitement. So look, this is what I say about that. This is somewhere in my book. Inspired, I don't know where. Inspired, I stand courageously for our highest and best, a world that works for all. As we launch 2025, in the book it is a different year, we are empowered to simultaneously claim life anew. We are called to expand in greater self-awareness, mirror work, selflessness, and authentic self-expression. Yeah. And so we get to a point where we are not just empowered. Look, this is like, okay, look. When I was a teenager, I took judo for a couple of years. And the first forever of the class, I've told you before, we spent falling, learning to fall. First of all, your first lessons where you just learned to throw yourself down. Now, I didn't know at the time that the next few lessons were going to be other people throwing you down. So you really needed to learn pretty quickly how to fall properly so you don't get hurt. This is, I'm not really talking about judo. I'm talking about how life shows up for us. So if you know at some point because you got big goals, you could get knocked down. Start falling. And teaching yourself, bam, we'd have to hit the mat like this, bam, and then get up, bam. And you just are like, how long does this go on? And you go on till you get it. It's like wax on, wax off. You just keep doing it because they told you to do it. And eventually you get, when they start throwing you, my first teachers were Samoan, were from Guam. Big folks who I'm a little girl, you know that, right? But I knew how to fall and get up. Wasn't sure if I wanted to, but that was a part of the thing. I knew how to fall. And that stands me in good stead now. There's a lot of stuff I'm not afraid of because I know how to get up. Yes? Okay. All right. So this idea of being able to leap across what used to hold us down, the fear, the doubt, the sense of unworthiness, the sense of personal limitations, all of that stuff. Look, they're leaping beyond that. It's highly purposeful. And intentional. And it's an inside job. It's an inside job. I'm not really expecting that we're going to have a field trip and be jumping across mountain ranges. But we are. But we are. We really, really are. And here's the thing. We can do this because we walk in the love of God. Because right now, together, we know that there's a wisdom, there's a loving, there's a knowing, and a truth. And that whatever you need to know will come in God's way for you. So until it shows, I'll pray. And I won't move until I know that I walk in the love of God. Karen Thomas and Karen Smith and Thomas Hughes.
There is a power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite one love. There can only be God's love. Oh, yes, I know that I walk. Oh, yes, I walk in the love of God. There is a wisdom and a knowing, a loving and a truth. Whatever you need to know will come in God's way for you. Oh, just say, until it shows, I will pray, and I won't move on till I know, oh, that I walk in the love of God. For the power and the glory and the love of God is everywhere. I can see it, it's everywhere. I can feel it, it's everywhere. And I know in my heart, for the power and the glory and the love of God is everywhere. I can see it, it's everywhere. Can feel it, it's everywhere. And you know in my heart, oh yes, I walk in the love of God. There is a power, a presence, one life of all, and no other power can exist outside of the infinite one love. There can only be God's love. Oh yes, I know that I walk. Oh yes, I walk in the love of God. I walk in the love of God. Yes, I walk in the love of God. Of God. And so it is. Whew.